So far, a lot of these videos have been about things you should not do. And I've given you the positive. I just want to review that real quick because I'm choosing to focus on the positive from now on. Holding your breath, right, becomes breathing. Judging becomes allowing. And measuring and comparing becomes noticing the obvious. So you catch yourself holding your breath, you take a breath. And if you need to review the rhythms, please watch the previous videos. Breathing rhythm is critical. If you catch yourself judging, set that aside and just allow things to be as they are. That does not mean that you shouldn't try to change them. I mean, if you see something that doesn't look right, interact with it and do what you can to make it better. However, don't just label something as bad and then run away from it. That causes problems, which you've probably already figured out. The third thing is noticing the obvious. So instead of measuring and comparing what you see to what some memory you have in your history, just notice what's here now, and that is key so far. This is not the end all, but this is the beginning, and this gets to be grounded. So breathe, notice the obvious, and allow things to be as they are. And this can be stressful at first, and what might happen is you might hold your breath. So simply breathe. There is no information in this class that is that can take control of your life, ruin your life, or even make your life better. The information by itself really does nothing. These videos by themselves do nothing for you. It's all about what you do with the information, right? It's about how you embody the information. It's really about, are you truly discontinuing judging? Are you truly willing to allow things to be the way they are? And that does not mean you don't change them. It just means you don't label them as good or bad, or as good and evil. Responsibility does not mean assigning credit or blame. If somebody says something and it shocks you and you hold your breath, you can't blame them for you holding your breath. It's just silly. And you shouldn't blame yourself either. Responsibility simply means you respond with your abilities. When you notice yourself holding your breath, you simply breathe again, right? That is you responding with your ability. If you catch yourself thinking that some situation or person is just like, some situation or person in your past, if be responsible, notice what you're doing, and discontinue that. Set it aside, and then notice the obvious. Notice what you're actually looking at. Responsibility is key, but it doesn't mean blaming or taking credit. It simply means responding with your abilities and stepping up to the plate. Being human, having a body, take control. This is you. It's all about you. And we're just setting aside all the things you shouldn't do, right? We're not going to really focus on that anymore. And instead, we're putting attention on the positive aspects of this work. So this word not doesn't really work for me. It's just kind of a bridge gap to help explain the information as we start. My highest choice here with all this information is that you try it and see if it works. Because typically, especially when you first start this work, of course, our minds, it wants to measure and compare. Our mind wants to judge. Our mind wants to hold its breath when there's new information we haven't heard before. The body is afraid of change. And this work is about transforming that. I mean, you got to get over that first little step of like, change might be okay. Change is not a four-letter word. In fact, not changing is impossible. I mean, change is constantly happening, and if we spend our life trying to avoid it and then push it away, don't let that be your life. If you let your life be about change, you can enjoy the most amazing, magical, fantastic things that you probably don't even think are possible right now. But change and shifting is what makes life fun and exciting, and it's what brings ever increasing love and awareness into our life, and also ever increasing connection. You know, there's many aspects to this work, and what I found for myself and what I've seen in many of my participants is that you get to focus on one aspect that matters to you and just work on that in order to let all the information fall into place. And then once the information falls into place, you can apply it to multiple aspects of life. If you're feeling lonely, or if you feel disconnected from your friends or family, that is something to focus on. You can focus on increasing your connection by breathing and by allowing your friends and family to be who they are, and by noticing the obvious about them. Notice that they enjoy your company, or notice that they don't enjoy your company, right? And take responsibility, respond with your abilities, and do something about that. Make it a little more fun, for those people to be in your presence. And, there's always more details. Always going to get more details. But for this short video chapter, I want you to just, think about that. Think about, well, have I been a victim of my breathing, my lack of breathing, and my judging, and my constantly referencing the past? And if so, okay, it's time to set that aside. Respond with your abilities, take responsibility, and that puts you in the driver's seat. That puts you back in control. And control, don't let that be a 4-letter word either. Control just means you can affect the outcome of things. It's not a bad word. I need to control my coughing. Not going to judge that either. Anyway, there's much more info coming today. I'm feeling like I'm on a roll maybe, so we're going to get some more videos in. And thanks for staying tuned. Respond with your abilities. You now understand breathing, right? You catch yourself not breathing, respond with your ability to breathe. And this concept, don't just brush it off. It's critical for getting through the workshop. All right, we'll see you soon.